What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the AstraVision Show, where you can come to
Vibe with the tribe.
Today we are watching Arcane, Bridging the Rift, Part 5. It's been a long journey, amazing journey, some very amazing docuseries.
Very extraordinary, very crazy to see, most definitely.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I'm glad because Arcane Season 2 drops this Saturday, so we're going straight from this docuseries into the next season.
Yes.
Which is dope. I think this should come out on maybe Thursday or Friday, so this would be like the day before, 2 days before we jump into watching Arcane Season 2, and we plan on releasing that immediately. We will be dropping episodes Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, so every other day, and then it'll go back into Saturday, and then Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and basically for the whole month. In between there, we'll also drop like League of Legends, other cinematics or things that might pop up in the series, other character trailers or things like that that might pertain to characters that are in the show, just so we can stay on top of it.
Especially the voiceovers.
Yeah, voice lines, if that's something that
Yep.
seems like it needed to be watched right away or something like that, we'll try to throw that in there. So you guys make sure to suggest all that stuff, make sure to hit the comment, subscribe buttons so you can inform us as well as check out Season 2 with us. And yeah, that's all I have.
Like to see you guys all there with us watching it too. It'd be really cool to see that.
It really would, You guys have been great. You guys are great. The whole League community
Yes.
that we've experienced. I'm not going to talk about game community, all that stuff, because I hear my stories. But from what we've experienced, it's been very, very great. So we appreciate you guys.
Especially this journey when we started 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Or from almost like the beginning of the year to now, you guys have been sticking with us and like creating this community with us and also just informing us, and we've just been learning. So for this to come to this conclusion, to this part, all the way leading up to Arcane Season 2 is going to be a blast, and then I'm looking forward to it. For sure.
Exactly. But yeah, let's jump into the episode. We'll talk more throughout. We'll probably pause it a couple times. We'll go from there. Their quotes have been hitting at the beginning of every part.
Yeah.
Damn.
When Arcane goes out, we will get death threats. Doesn't matter if we win every award in the world. We will inevitably piss someone off who really loves whichever character is in Arcane, and they will want to murder us.
I'm glad they're prepared.
Oh yeah.
But I'm still anxious, right? We're 2 to 3 weeks to the launch, so maybe I'm completely fooling myself and it's gonna flop.
Let's have a look at that trailer for Riot Games' upcoming animated series.
So, it's like League of Legends Christmas right now?
Yeah.
Hey, the normies. One of the first reaction channels I watched.
Yeah.
Half as good as that trailer is.
Oftentimes the question is like, how do you make something good? How do you know it's good? What if you don't know these characters? What if you don't know anything about League of Legends? Would you still engage in this?
Hopefully we succeeded in the biggest thing, which was making League of Legends fans proud of their investment into the IP.
They're doing pop-up shops like this right now in Paris. I just watched the video.
I know. I saw that. You showed me that video.
Colorful and cheerful and happy, but now it's shattered and broken.
The fact that somebody can make an hour-long reaction video off of like the smallest teasers that we've made is impressive.
Let's have a closer look
Shout
at
Necrit.
because they're doing double.
I guess we do that now
Taking
too.
the character model and copying it, gun barrel here, gun barrel here, gun barrel here, which is a technique that's stolen directly from 2D animation.
We dissected it like every frame, like it was spot on most of the time.
Her jaw unclenches as she opens her lips.
I mean, I can't imagine how much of those are going to exist after we've released a whole season of Arcane, like what everybody's going to say and what everybody's going to do and think about it.
Wow. Damn, that's
it's not
epic.
Just a story or a project that goes out, and if you don't like it, c'est la vie. It's like, no, it has to be good because it's this thing that our audience cares about so much, that we care about so much.
Damn.
It's, it's not easy to make decisions when you have that in the back of your head.
I bet not.
Wow. Damn, what an intro for the last episode. That's crazy.
Right? Crazy.
And the title.
So it's problematic. It's just. Yeah, it just kind of is what it is.
I'm trying to save you from annihilation.
Good. Next.
I'm surprised what you can pull off when your life depends on it. Depends on it.
Because on it feels like it gets I have never worked on animation before this project, which I actually always thought was a detriment, but I was recently told that that was actually something they were looking for, so I was like, oh, good. That's pretty pissed. That's a little too pissed. They put so much detail and so much thought into the animation, you really do want to match it, you know? Like, you want it to be just as detailed, just as nuanced, and sound as cool as it looks. So Andy is the sound effects mixer. So all the cool design, the weapons.
Oh, wow.
The sound is what I think really connects for a lot of people. Like, they may not realize it. Same thing with like music. Music is kind of like a universal language. There's something about that, you know, sonic thing that gets in your ear that really, I think, helps bring stuff to life. Like when I go see a scary movie, I cover my ears, man. I don't cover my eyes, right?
I support Councillor Tallis's proposal for this.
I'm so glad we decided to start wearing headphones during this.
Yeah.
We can hear everything.
You definitely hear a lot of things.
The goal is clarity in the end. You know, it's supposed to be like not noticed in a way. You know, if it's noticed, maybe it's done, you know, it's done wrong because it's like scenes are believable when people believe that they're in them.
Sorry, my watch went off. Totally ruined your soundbite, dude.
Shit. Redo. We should have had shirts that said Sound Bros.
Arcane Sound Bros.
I'm with stupid.
Yeah. We make the noises.
Welcome, Joe, to H150. A giant empty room. This whole room for just Brad and I.
Thanks, COVID.
You know, for just developing the soundscapes and kind of getting some temp mixes down. These rooms are perfect for that, and then we can go to the stage and kind of fine-tune things. It's very identical to Brad's. Exactly the same, actually, except for I have some plants. I'm a big plant guy, but obviously everything would die in this room, so I had to find the best-looking fake plants. Target's got some great fake plants. These are Motion Picture MPSC awards. These were for Blade Runner and a game, Resident Evil.
Hey, nice.
And hopefully there'll be a third one there when you come back and film this for season 2 or something.
I was gonna say, yeah. Didn't they get? I don't remember if they won, but I know they got
working
nominated.
in animation, you're working.
Yeah, they got a lot of
completely
nominations
from scratch.
I don't know
for
the
every
awards they won.
And a lot of times it's easy to just kind of do the bare minimum of what's needed for the scene because that's just sort of the aesthetic. But for this, from day one, it was let's create a really, really authentic sounding production track.
Brad and I's job ultimately is to work on the relationship between dialogue, music, and effects to help sell a believable story.
I remember in our second episode, there was this council scene where Jace has to kind of answer for his unsanctioned research. And that scene just did not work for me in the animatics and everything. And I looked at this script page and I was like, no, these are the right words. Like, we're saying the right things. The animation looked great. I was like, what is the problem?
The materials were far more dangerous than I was aware of.
Sounds like how it was recorded in
were against Academy regulations.
the VO booth.
What I did endangered people. It was reckless.
But to sell the sheer mass of this room, you know, you add reverb.
It was revolutionary.
Revolutionary how? All I see is a boy meddling with things he doesn't understand.
The second there was that like feeling of the words just expanding into this eerie space, it felt like every word just mattered so much more, you know? And that was the first time that scene really worked for me.
VGs, backgrounds. You know, backgrounds are, you know, what world is this character in? What's happening around them? What could be happening around them?
Damn.
The conversation with backgrounds is sort of like our wallpaper. It kind of like lays the foundation, and then sometimes it's a combination of stuff that you recorded in the field.
You hear that heartbeat that they have in there?
Yeah.
At least once a week or on the weekends, I'm constantly recording.
Nah, that's just my heart, dude.
My
The
parents
suspense
had
is
this
killing
kind of
me.
4x5. But when I pitched down the recordings I did, I got this. The engine had this kind of repetitive. And I was like, that's basically the industrial Zon. You know, the steam releases are cool little air compressor bursts pitched down.
These guys are masters at that. Holy crap.
And then the foley is really that next
Every
layer,
single
right?
detail.
Creating this whole
Sound.
level of realism.
For animation, it's huge.
The Foley crew was our good buddies at One Step Up. Dan O'Connell, John Cucci, totally crushed it. Each one of these tracks is, you know, somebody watching this scene and doing all the feat for that one character, going back, doing the feat for that next character.
Jeez.
Footsteps, props, which is kind of like, this is a prop when you set it on the table and it has a sound. And then gear, which is like, you know, Vi has a certain jacket on with a buckle. That buckle makes a sound. You can kind of get a different feeling on each person. Brad and I come from a world of creating game assets and characters in game where Foley is a huge player in games. So
damn, I want that Echo
our viewpoint
figurine.
of Foley is like, we need it and play it loud.
I feel like I've said that 2 or 3 times now.
You have almost every single.
I'm gonna find it.
Video.
You know, Dan and John, and what they did is like, their stuff is always 90% there and it fits in and it's great. But sometimes you need to embellish it.
The Foley on its own, it doesn't do what you need it to do, but like just the sound effects by itself. And it doesn't have that realism and the texture that you need from like something that's real. So together.
There was a lot of organic recordings and thought that went into sounds that came from the natural world.
I kind of pick up everything that sounds cool. Just keep it. The elk are just gonna start running into the building.
How about I say that sound like an elk
Walls.
Oh man, that would be so many people I would know that would be annoyed by that noise.
That noise.
50 cal bullet. How about castanets?
Damn.
Got a lot of weird shit.
For me, the biggest thing was the magic, like the hex core, and this is like the beginning and the origin of magic of League of Legends. Like creating something that tonally sounded new and was the beginning, and it had to progress through the whole season.
Okay. I used to love doing that when I was a kid, fucking putting some water in. But no, it's crazy, like, as he's talking about, this is the beginning of the magic in the League of Legends universe. Now that we've, like, dove into everything, that's something I've been thinking for a long time, is Arcane was a perfect show, now that we've learned the regions and everything, perfect show to kick off everything, because everywhere else, the power that they've obtained through the runes, the runestones or whatever, it just seems so much more massive and so much powerful than Piltover and Zon. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of built the hex tech out of a piece of magic, but everywhere else it just seems like it's in everything they do. It's in their buildings, in Demacia, it's in the nature, in Ionia, you know what I mean, Shurima and Targon. It's just, you know, everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of dope that they got to start from that point, and now they are branching into hopefully branching into like the rest of everything, because I feel like everyone has a good understanding So yeah, again, I'm excited for season 2 because I'm like, how fast and how much are they going to expand into the magic realm? You know what I mean? You guys post a vote. Where do you think they're going to transcend into from this season? You guys think they're going to go more towards Noxus and, over in that area? They're going to go Ionia? They're going to go Billwater? What do you guys think? Are there any votes or anything like that?
Oh man, I kind of want to say the Noxus, but I feel like Noxus has already kind of had its eye on this area already because Piltover and Zon were originally already won the city.
Yeah.
So then, like back in the day, they did like an experiment, or they actually had to make a way to go down south without going all the way around the continent. So they just pretty much just like made an explosion, then messed up and like destroyed the whole bridge, land bridge right there. That's what kind of originally created Zon and Piltover. But I think it's just from the history that they got, I think Dionysus might be the people that might want to come over and like kind of like watch them more, because they're the ones that kind of want to keep magic and like things to kind of more holy and more natural.
Oh, from Ionia.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to keep it in check.
Yeah.
That makes sense, especially with fucking. I was almost about to say Urgot and get roasted. Another 300. No, but with Singed coming, having such an impact in Ionia and stuff like that with all the, chemical warfare and whatnot, it would make sense if he was kind of like, it went more into his backstory.
Yeah.
And then they came over to kind of like put a lid on all that stuff that he's doing. So.
Right.
Or if this is like the origin of him creating that chemical warfare, maybe, and then, or something like that.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Crazy assumptions, but
because if the trailers that haven't deceived us yet, and from what we saw, Warwick, he was one of those experiments.
Yeah, Warwick's in the early age. Yeah.
So I mean, he was already dabbling in that. So if we see Warwick, then it might be the beginning of what you're just talking about.
Of him like really creating his maybe really going hard with all his inventions and whatnot. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah, because you see a lot of the
Shimmers.
but the people that look like Urgots and fucking Singe, like their race. I can't remember. But yeah, it looks like they were all somehow infiltrating the city, and they're like, coming into everything. So yeah, man, interesting stuff.
Just doing all these sounds and stuff like that remind me of us when we did our shootings, and then when we get done doing our scenes, you would always say, all right, we need to get the ambience or the sound.
Oh yeah, room tone and everything.
Yeah, so we had to do like a recording of the actual room, and then people would be sitting there silent, just
looking at each other and trying not to laugh. Yeah, it's a great time.
Funny.
Especially when you're on the go and you're like running gun. You just get the room tone real quick so you can lay that background. It's crazy with them, like how they laid their background. It's like a whole atmosphere. It's not just the sound of the wind in the room. It's just a bunch of things going on. So pretty crazy stuff.
I took some time and recorded some wine glasses. So this is pitched up and then thrown through a tremolator. And then it's also thrown through a Doppler. And then Brad messing with a bunch of different synthesizers and like a chimey tonal thing with a choir. Kind of has both sounds intertwined into it.
Damn.
And then like Shimmer, like the whole Shimmer thing.
The biggest player in the Shimmer is actually, that's your voice.
That's how we talk.
Elliot! So just
all they do is fuck around.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Kind of gave us this
great.
weird palette of stuff to play with. Running it through an impulse response. It's taking that and then adding
creepy.
Like a liquid kind of bubbly component to it, but.
Wow.
One thing
God,
about
that's
Bad
some
Night
horror
is
game.
You work together well.
That's
Like,
great.
you create building blocks, as Riot likes to call it. Taking those building blocks and building on top of that, and building more and more on top of that, and going 6 or 7 steps beyond your first step. All of a sudden, you've got something really cool.
And then putting on your sound editor cap. It's like taking all that cool stuff that you made, putting it up against picture, and making really hard decisions about what to keep, what to get rid of.
Yeah.
Do you still missing stuff on those swords hits? Those sword swipes?
Carving through it?
Yeah.
No. Are you?
I might play. What do we got, 3:30?
We have half an hour.
That was the initial design, which you kind of lose because it just sits in the register of the music. Any sound designer can create amazing sounds, but to create clarity and to tell the story that the director is trying to put together, you have to be able to pivot a lot. So like these are kind of fireworks I've recorded. Getting that sizzle on stuff. Nice little trick that I do is this is basically just a volume graph. But what I like to do sometimes, instead of tremulating the sound, I'll draw it in like this, which I do a lot on creature vocals and stuff. But it basically gives you this, you see how it kind of cuts through a little bit?
It just blows me away. Like, they're like, hey, we need a sound for Savika's plasma blade, you know? And he's like, hold my beer.
Right now, I am at my parents' house in the north of Germany. This is one example of me thinking of the Arcane story. There were definitely moments of being pretty overwhelmed, for sure. I mean, speaking for myself, I'm the kind of person, I work actually well under stress, except for when you have so many stressful things that you feel like you lose oversight, if that makes sense. You know, animation over there, music over there, voice talent.
Thanks, 75.
Profits have been plummeting.
I think what would be nice profits have been plummeting to kind of have like those pop.
And you don't know if the scripts for less episodes are working, and the planning for season 2, and there definitely are those moments where it feels like it just is too much, you know. I think that's why the burnout rate for showrunners is like 100% in general.
Jeez.
Knowing that the show is going out in November, really I think it won't be real to me until it actually goes out into the world. And
Wow.
Right now, the thing that keeps me up at night is trying to make sure that the next season doesn't disappoint.
Oh, so they
There's
released
some
it.
other option,
Released
right?
it
It's
November
like
last time
die,
too. Yeah.
Or accept some things being imperfect, or something like that. That's kind of like the other path, right? That would be the way that they could go back to humanity.
Now I think we need to find a big structure. We feel we can simplify it.
The big hope, I guess, with this trip to Fortiche is to lock down the final episodes of season 2. The end that I won't talk about very much is one that is
Season two.
complex.
What else do you want to remove?
You can remove also the...
There's one thing about the ending that is new. We're
I see.
That's sort of the same beat we had in 206. Okay, that was sort of the thing we were hinging this whole episode around, and now it's not there anymore, so let's just redo the whole thing.
Okay. Whenever creating any type of project, I know when we're doing different stuff, we'll plan out, not everything necessarily, but definitely plan out beginning, middle, and end of your character's arc and where this is going to go. Otherwise, you write yourself into a corner. You end up like writing the first season, whatever you're going to do, first book, comic book, short film, whatever. And then it's great. People love it. And they're like, okay, now it's time to one up that. And you didn't really plan for how this is supposed to fully be resolved. And I mean, it's interesting because sometimes you plan, like me, I like to kind of plan out every story beat and generally know like, okay, it's going to go this direction. Once I get to the end of the story, yeah, depending on how everything goes with the flow, it's, we might decide that, hey, this villain character should become a good guy. We might decide this villain character should become a bad guy. Whatever the case is, leave it kind of loose for the story to evolve naturally. But at the same time, it's very good to kind of know where you're going. Otherwise, getting to that point where you write yourself in a corner, you come out with things like, what's that? Game of Thrones. I feel like that was one of those situations where you get to the end and there's so much pressure to try to, okay, how do we get the perfect ending? There's not going to be a perfect ending now because now there's just too much buildup. You kind of have to plan that out and then plan all your little Easter eggs to build up to that, so it doesn't feel like you're like cheated or like they just snuck this in. I know with Daenerys at the end going mad, it felt like they tried to rush that sequence, and all of a sudden she's just, she seemed like she's saying she's doing the right thing, and then within the last season, she quickly unfolds into madness. So yeah, that's why it's good to kind of have these first points out and stuff. So I'm glad they showed that in here because that's really really cool to show. They're showing the whole process of everything.
Yeah.
So
It's never cool shooting in the dark, especially with anything.
Yeah,
Story, because me, just getting into writing stories for the first time, I kind of have that better understanding of like me being very critical and like seeing a show and be like, oh, that doesn't make sense for this person or in their scenario. But then the scenario you kind of understand is just it also resolves around other people and the situation, what's going on, and how much this confliction is going to affect this person. So now you're going to affect whatever's going to happen in your next step. And I think that's what I like about writing stories, and all the other great creators and writers out there. They have that option. They have that foresight to kind of see what's up here. Everybody else down here is still clueless, but you're like, oh, dude, it's gonna be nice when whoop, boom, and then everything's just gonna be explained, and you're just that's what I like about it. So especially when I like see a series that I like, I'm like, no, this is not how it's gonna end, and boom, oh my gosh, they did it, and then it's like,
right,
oh no,
right. The fact that they had this planned out makes me so excited for the end of Arcane season 2, because now. Yeah, we already know that it's in good hands because they've been sitting on this ending, making sure, like, does that make sense? Is this what people want to see? Is it this and that? For so long. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna stop talking about Arcane season 2 until this is
this part. I
till
think
this is
just
finished.
a particularly hard part of stories, getting from your middle to the on track, final run on the Death Star. That kind of location.
Yeah.
It's so hard to wipe the slate clean on something.
I think I just need to step back and need to like try and figure
that's
this
a lot of
episode
pressure.
out without thinking about all the things that we've talked about.
I know. But we also don't want the baby to go out, Alex. We don't want to murder this baby with our bathwater.
Jeez, that's a crazy metaphor.
Filling it with more bathwater right now.
A lot of bathwater.
We're not dumping out the bathwater, we're adding bathwater. The baby is steadily drowning.
Jeez.
I feel that,
circling the
actually.
exact location of the problem.
Sorry, more positive. You get what they meant by that whole metaphor? That was pretty dark metaphor.
No, it was dark, but I get what you're saying.
Oh,
you're nice. Yeah, you have the nice store that you're right there and cleaning and polishing, and then you need water.
Yeah, and then
but
people
the more
get
you just come in putting input into it or doing stuff, you're just adding to it. So now your baby.
Yeah, the clarity of the vision's getting diluted. Yeah, that shit's happened multiple earlier projects. Now it's kind of just like you have to kind of pick to choose and be like, okay, hey, like I appreciate that, but if it's not like a strong point, we can't change the whole flow of everything because then we'll just get thrown off track. You know what I mean? So crazy.
I got that.
Just the metaphor was so dark that
I got that.
Yeah, the metaphor was so dark that I was just like, oh man.
I rather like.
It's more for y'all. I was wondering if y'all understood. I know you gotta understand it, but I was just like, damn. Did anyone else catch that? Is that just a common thing, or is that just because we've been through a lot of trauma with all this creative process? You know what I mean?
I think it's both, but I rather prefer the muds getting higher for the pig pen. Because the pig pen's gonna go out, or the pig's gonna go out, and his pig pen is gonna go in. So the farm's gonna come out and pour more mud out there, thinking that he needs to be washed. Because you don't just wash the pig; pig wash itself. So
I don't know where these metaphors are coming from. Hey, let me know if you guys understand these, or if you guys already, had a good understanding before we just went into explaining it. Yeah, I need to know.
Hey, what goes up must come down.
All right, y'all. Sorry.
Whatever has water on it is wet.
Because when you say this is a little blurry or there is a bug here, sometimes it's difficult to just spot the right place and the right frame.
Accent's crazy. We got to go down there. Or you've been down there.
Yeah, I've been
there. As you can see, we can't see the shard behind the glass. But the glass is transparent, so we have to see it, so it's a problem.
Oh.
Damn, the details.
Yeah.
Tu peux remonter en arrière, s'il te plaît, j'ai l'impression d'avoir vu un bug. Non, juste au moment où, un petit peu avant, on va faire image par image.
Fortiche and Arnaud and Pascal, I really, really, really trust them.
Ah, il y a un trait. Il y a un trait. D'accord, ok. Non, je crois que c'est ça.
Their heart's in the right place, you know, like you just know that they're always gonna err on the side of quality and passion.
Son bras, il doit être allumé là, comme ça, avec le. Où il est.
Non, il est éteint.
Hein?
Il est éteint. Il est censé être éteint.
On peut toujours apporter quelque chose de plus. Et c'est ça qui est des fois un petit peu frustrant pour nous parce qu'on est assez perfectionniste, c'est de se dire bon, allez, là, on lâche le clavier.
Des fois, c'est un peu dur. Ouais.
Oh man's dipped over here. The matching hat with the chair. That's crazy.
It's the last shot of the last episode.
You locked the picture?
It's not totally locked.
It's never locked.
Until it's on Netflix.
Yes.
Hey! Kind of wrapping up last minute tweaky.
Notes all make sense?
Yeah.
People always say, oh, when you work on something, you leave a piece of yourself. In this case, it's just like, it definitely took a chunk out of me. I think the best thing that I could somehow do and hopefully add some value is make stuff where we ask relevant questions and where we can show people different perspectives. Well, for Vi and for Jinx, the central question is, can you ever forgive a monster? How far are you willing to go for your sibling? Is there a line where you just can't go for your sibling and you just have to say, sorry, but this is where I have to leave you?
What could have been?
Is that better? I don't know what you just took out.
Back.
There's anything that we can achieve with Arcane past just the sheer entertainment? If there's just some good questions to ask for all of us and find our own answers, man, that's, I think, the best thing Arcane could do.
I feel like from the beginning of the season, of this series to the end, I noticed Christian's eye like twitching. Like he's certainly slowly losing it. It's kind of crazy. A lot of stress, man.
What could have been?
Now we're done.
Sharima confirmed.
It's going to be the first media product in the history of the world to launch everywhere, including China, at the same time. And we got Netflix and Amazon to actually partner because we're live streaming it on Twitch and enabling our players to restream it. Like crazy shit you can only do at Riot ever that no one's ever done before.
Epic.
Yes.
It is such a pleasure to welcome LT and Christian Link to the premiere stage. How many things have you spent 6 years on one project for in your life? One single thing have you spent 6 years for before?
Marriage?
There you go. Jeez.
I mean, it's you know, it's been pretty crazy to realize that the day's finally come. You know, we've been working on this for a long time, and it's finally here.
We certainly didn't expect anything on this caliber for the release of it, so it's very cool.
It's just, I think, really important to us that we create something that our audience can be proud of.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, I've seen those. Those are like what
That's where I draw the line.
What
if I was somebody who was
VTubers
actually there,
do.
I would hate being followed by a robot. That being
Or
said,
the Sojo
as the
tubers.
robot, I have no
wow.
problem
Yeah.
with putting somebody into a vaguely uncomfortable situation. That is,
Okay,
they have to talk to an
So those
iPad
are probably
that
the
is
actual
on a
players that play the game.
I am 100%
that couldn't make it.
interrupting something here, haven't I?
Okay, yeah, it looks like they're doing interviews and stuff. That's crazy.
know where the fuck I am?
Or
I'm a
YouTuber,
huge
like
fan of your
yeah.
stuff.
I watched all your videos.
I'm a huge fan of your stuff.
Oh, Necker.
Oh,
The dream and
dude,
the
that's
hope
sick.
was always that League was the start of so much more. But you know, fan expectations only go up.
That's epic.
So we hope to deliver.
I'm lucky. I've had a long association with Riot because I played Braum in League of Legends.
Wait, you're Braum?
I'm Braum.
Oh my god!
Oh, those guys are
The
hyped.
responsibility of this is kind of
Mind
scary.
blown,
So,
right?
Yeah.
It's like the anticipation from the fans.
Wait,
is
you're
just-
Braum?
You can feel it. It's like tangible. Even on the internet, you can just feel it.
My agent sent me out for it, and I was like,
Oh, he plays
this is
Vander
cool,
and
you know,
Braum.
a black kid, he's a scientist, he's super sick, you know. And then when I got in, I was like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought.
Remember I thought this was Michael B. Jordan?
You did.
I don't
for
know
the
what the
longest
fuck.
time.
I was misled.
I told you. I even said, I was like, this is
I was
no way.
misled.
I'm sure you've been to a lot of premieres. This is much different, right, than most?
It's a lot cooler than most, I gotta say. Okay.
Riot's doing it right.
This is the production value. This is like so incredible.
Well, how do you approach this challenge?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the universal themes of hating someone you love and loving someone you hate is just very relatable.
Doing something like this, you never really know sort of what the end result is going to look like. But the team behind this is absolutely unbelievable. And from day one, I knew that I wanted to be involved. I just can't wait to see what the players and what fans think of the show. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've never been as proud of a job. Finally, now actually it's out and anyone tonight across the world can turn on Netflix and watch it. That makes me really happy. It's a weird feeling.
Should be very special. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be too afraid to really see what the reactions are. I think I'm just gonna watch it. And then
That's a
I'm
cool
not
theory.
gonna look online for as long as I can. We've poured like 6 years into this, you know. The idea of having just someone go, meow, it's just like, I think it would just be brutal. All I can safely assume is that the League audience is gonna be unmerciful. Whichever way that goes, you know. If they love it, they will probably send me baskets of food. If they hate it, they will send me baskets of shit.
Yeah, his accent came out right there at the end. Came out tough. Get over here leaking the footage.
I mean, the premiere at the same time, so everybody else can
Netflix,
watch it.
yeah. I don't trust her. Damn, the effects on the ceiling.
That's pretty sick.
Wow. It's a whole nother experience.
When Christian sent me the first cut of the last 5 minutes of episode 3, I bawled. I like straight like ugly cried.
Jeez.
I understand.
Just, sorry, I didn't even think about it.
I feel that.
My sister anymore.
Guy with the bag in his head.
So many people work so hard trying to do justice to people's expectations, and they're doing it because of this love, you know, and sense of responsibility to not let players down. Just makes us incredibly proud.
Yeah, that scene is haunting.
You know, the
Yeah, it
reactions
is.
and see those things actually happening.
Even now, I'm like, shit's crazy.
We will show them all.
Yeah, this scene almost ruined my whole week. Remember the first time watching this? It's crazy.
I'm just super proud of the team. I'm super happy for Christian. And then all the people that helped make it happen. Like hundreds of people worked on it to bring it together. Not to mention the thousands of writers that built the IP that we were then able to translate into this. So The feeling that we really wanted people to have is that we handled that IP with care and love.
Love you, man. Oh, dude, I'm so happy with it, bro. How do you feel?
Don't even show his
my phone at all today.
response.
So I'm going on the assumption that everyone hates the show and we're canceled, and this is the last night of joy we're going to have in our lives.
You probably haven't seen any of the reviews or anything. No, I haven't touched my phone, and since I sat down, I don't want to see them.
You don't even want to. You're like,
You're gonna be happy though.
still watch it.
Act one review.
That's
Netflix. Dude, I'm so proud of you, man.
Well,
My expectations were like, it's gonna be good. But after the finale,
there he is.
What a fool I was. It was so brilliant.
Today we're taking a look at the new Netflix show Arcane, and I want to just start by
that-
saying
oh, yeah.
it slaps.
It slaps. Oh shit, Rick.
Oh wow, that's lit.
Oh shit, RTTV? These are all my main people. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know these people. Let me not.
Sorry.
Let me not oversell it.
Mainly gratitude. I'm so proud of what this team, like the excellence so exceeded my expectations, and I know very well how ridiculous this climb was.
I literally said to him, I remember I said to him, if it goes down, we'll go down with the ship. I literally said, you can have my job. Like,
Oh, now you're saying that. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's epic. Damn.
Merci à Christian pour la confiance, the trust, you know, the trust of
He handled that like a champ.
Fortiche. At the very beginning of Fortiche. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, everybody. Et maintenant que la soirée commence.
I feel like you don't even have enough energy in your mental space to even party after this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. La qualité d'Arcane, c'est que
Well, it's
tout le
probably
monde
like
est
a
très
week
passionné, a
later.
toujours été très motivé, quoi.
No, that was like the viewing show, right?
Je pense
Or
qu'il
is
a
this
décidé un
not
peu
this? Different event?
dépasser, de ne
That's
pas
probably
rester
for
sur ses
Fortiche
acquis et de
people.
progresser
Oh, yeah,
quelque
yeah.
part.
I see.
Et je pense que ça, c'était payant, hein, aussi.
I was at dinner recently with the directors of Fortiche, and they said they're very happy right now because when they got into this industry, they really wanted to create something to be a history of the animation world. And they were smiling and they were saying, it's such a relief that after 6 years now, they feel like they know they worked on something that is part of animation history. Doesn't matter if the project is like a wild success or it's doing fine or you know, worse than that. If anything, we've crafted something that pushes the animation world forward by a significant margin.
That's cool. They have more of a personal get together for like the people involved directly.
Nice
Like,
getting
it's-
above it all, huh?
The fact that we
Or
can
behind the
spend
scenes, I mean.
5 hours in just Piltover and Zon, and then do it again in a second season before we start to zoom out of this one little corner of the world and this handful of characters. Just the possibility space is so wild. You know, Alex made a comment to me last night. He's like, I could see myself telling stories in this universe for the next 30 years.
It's a small miracle that this TV show got made, and it's a smaller miracle that so many god tier artists came together to work on one project, and you can't not be proud of what they did. So yeah.
The other blessing and a curse for me and Alex is like we're never satisfied and we always want it to be better. So no matter how much you think you might know about what's coming in season 2, there's always going to be tons of new stuff to discover. I think people are going to be really excited about what's different.
The reason why I joined Riot is because I liked playing the game. I loved it. I think when Alex and I were starting to talk about making something like Arcane, we just thought that this should exist because we want to watch it. We love these characters. We love these worlds. I think maybe my favorite thing above all of Arcane is that I am very confident in saying that there's many people who work on Arcane right now that feel like they're working on the most important thing of their lives, like their careers. I feel like people feel like they're challenged, they're working on something that's going to matter, they're going to look back to and say, yes, like that's a proud moment of my life and I'm happy I worked on it. And that to me is probably the most important thing.
Thank God.
That was
Thank
good.
God. Oh, I gotta handle too much more of that. Jesus Christ. The heartstrings. Woo! Great work, great work.
Excellent work.
Oh man.
Phenomenal job.
I'm so glad that
to
we
everybody.
watched this. Yeah, I cannot lie. I'm so glad that we watched this. I feel like anyone who's like worked on a project that's had a handful of people who spend, months, let alone years, let alone however long, you know what I mean? Just like putting a lot of energy. And we worked on a lot of projects, right? To where it's like, even when we did Neutropia, that was something we started, filmed for about 3 months during the snowy season, got to the end of it, and it was like, okay, the snow's clearing up. Do we try to like force this out? Do we rush it? Do we do this and that? And then we end up waiting pretty much until, got an editing booth and stuff, waited until the next year, and then filmed some more scenes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's, and it's one of those things where you never really know how people are going to respond to it. You kind of just put yourself out there in a vulnerable space. And I mean, it's the same thing, honestly, with reactions now. Not on, I feel like, as grand a scale, because this we can record in 30 minutes.
Right.
And a lot of
15
times
minutes.
we're more commenting on other people's work. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit different when you're creating something and you're putting like days and days and days and months of your, mental, your mental strength and emotions and everything like that into it. So yeah, to see them actually, come out the other side and just handle it like a champ. It seems like everything was still, keep everything reserved. Let's just get into it. Let's start planning for season 2. I can't do anything but commend them for just handling this so well. A lot of pressure, man. 6 years, long time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I thought 4 months was a long time when we were
Right.
doing our shootings and stuff like that.
Right.
Every weekend, just occupied, trying to
Right.
meet up, schedule things. Either does anything, we gotta find out, figure out another scene to shoot while these people or whoever couldn't make it. Just stuff like that.
Right.
Also, the premieres. That premiere was pretty dope, and it kind of reminded me of when we did our premieres of short films.
Mm-hmm.
From
we'll
Korean
go, like, the
film
film
festivals,
festivals
or
and-
Seattle
yeah.
Film Festival,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see everybody's films for the first time, but it was like 20 or like 15 different like short films.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, then they would award it like that same night too.
Yeah, which is pretty
Which is
crazy
pretty
because then you
cool.
have no idea. You're just kind of sitting and waiting. And I mean, a lot of award shows and things like that have the same, I guess, procedure. But yeah, it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of things are going on. And even like the 4 months, right? It's like 4 months of, every weekend filming. But then during the weekday, you're practicing lines. You're going through your outfit. You're like, is this right? Should I shave? Should I do? You know what I mean? Everything that you're doing pretty much all moments of the day, every day of that week are kind of leading up to like, okay, how do I prepare the best so that way when I can come here on game day, I can execute in front of all these people, in front of this and that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it gets crazy, man. It gets crazy. I can't wait to see what we do with like on the comic level where we can build up our stories and have our characters at that point where people care that much. There's only been like a few comics and global comics and things like that where people are like, yo, I'll stop reading this right now if this happens. And I'm like, yeah. Hey man, I can't promise you anything. I don't know who you are. But
No spoilers, bro.
Right? I don't know what you want me to do here. But yeah, this level, worldwide television, crazy, man, crazy. What were your guys' thoughts? How did you guys feel? Are there any creators that are in the comments or anything like that? If so, what do you guys create? You know what I mean? We do have a Discord, like I said before. We have a League of Legends channel where we just talk about everything Arcane. We talk about the new shows, music videos, and things like that, as well as anime, comic book, geek culture content. We have different sections for everything. We also have like a video game section where people will jump in and like game and stuff like that, and just hang out, a little chat room. So
Artist
a bunch of cool
section
stuff.
too.
Yeah,
they'll
artist
throw
section,
their
fan art,
creativities and whatnot on. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yep. Bunch of cool stuff, as well as our original merch and stuff like that for our comic book series. And when we drop new projects or graphic novels like this that is on Amazon right now, Neutropia. We also got Omega Ghost very first series. You see I got the merch and stuff on for that. You got Eyes of Genesis. This is based off like the very first story I wrote when I was like 14, 15.
Spirit Walker and
yes.
Alpha.
Yes. Mackie is working on 5 comics of that continuing series right now. So
yes,
it's gonna be his real writing debut. You know what I mean? In big form. So exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff on the way. If you guys want to check this out for free right now, it is online on Global Comics until the end of the year. Actually, all these comics and series. So go check that out. It's in the description below. But yeah, that's all we got.
Yep.
Arcane season 2 coming. I hope you guys are going to watch that and then check back in with this channel. We are definitely excited. We will have the whole group here.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be dope. I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man, excited stuff. Yeah, he wasn't on Arcane season 1, right?
No.
Yeah. So he'll be here for season 2. All right, y'all. Until next time.
Till then.
Much love.
See ya.
Peace.